Hey everybody, this is GGB talking about college basketball upset of the day, obviously. This is the last edition. Today, I can make or break. I could either miss on today's upset, or you know what could happen? I could make it, not have to do a dare, or I could miss it and have to do a dare. So you should definitely put it in the comment section below. Now, I'm a half a point away. I was sitting at 2 points, 2.5 points, because I got the 1.5 points on Monday. Then I got half a point on Wednesday and Thursday. There was no game on Friday. So I was sitting at 2.5 points. I got the point yesterday from Providence. That's 3.5. So if there's no upset today, I survive. If there is an upset and it's not mine, then I am screwed. But just put your dare down in the comment section below, and I could have to do it. Who knows? But let's get into this thing. What happened in the ACC yesterday? Well, believe it or not, some crazy stuff happened. Virginia won the ACC, so round of applause for the Cavaliers, everyone. I'm impressed. I don't think they're that great. And just think, if you're a Virginia Tech fan, it's got to hurt that you didn't play many games. Because if you had played some of these games that were canceled, there's a good chance you win most of them. And you had a real shot at winning the ACC, at the very least getting the 2 seed. I mean, Florida State and Virginia are just not that great basketball teams. Virginia Tech's got to be just absolutely killing themselves over the fact that they missed. Poor Hokie fans. On the bright side, if you're a Yellow Jacket fan, 4th place in the ACC. I don't know anyone in their right minds who is picking Georgia Tech to finish 4th place in the ACC. That's how crazy this year is. Other than Virginia, Florida State, like the teams that everyone picks normally to win the ACC, Duke, UNC, they are not playing good basketball right now. It's really weird to see. Yeah, it really is weird. Louisville. So it's weird to see Georgia Tech and Clemson be in the top 5. But it's important for Georgia Tech because they moved up a spot to get to 4, thanks to Louisville's loss to Virginia today. And that's huge because now, if you're Georgia Tech, you get the 4th spot, which means a bye, 2-day bye. That's huge. You don't have to play for 2 days. You don't have to risk anything for 2 days, which is very important. And I'm telling you, it's going to be scary for some of these teams that do have to risk it. Good for the Yellow Jackets. But other than that, Notre Dame was able to move up a spot because of Pitt losing to Clemson today. That's really all that changed. NC State was thanking the UNC a whole lot because now they don't have to play day 1. Duke fell below them, and now they get to play day 2. They have to play Syracuse. So that's not horrible. That's not a horrible draw if you're NC State. A lot of teams I would rather not play if I was NC State. Moving on to the Big 12, not a whole lot happened here today. As I said before, Oklahoma State was the only team playing today in the Big 12. They played West Virginia, and it was a little bit important because West Virginia lost. Kansas moves into 2nd place. Oklahoma State's set up. They can get to 4th place if some things go right today. So, West Virginia is really shooting themselves right now. I think Oklahoma State proved how great they really are. To be able to win without Cade Cunningham, that's amazing. They have enough talent on their team. Oklahoma State's a real dangerous team right now. I could see them going to Elite 8 right now. They're playing some extremely good basketball. I really love what the Cowboys are doing right now. I don't think they're going to win it all. I think Baylor is going to win it all still. They had that one slip up against Kansas, but other than that, they've been pretty great. So I still think Kansas is my team. I'm going to run with them. I think it was mainly just off the COVID break. But dang, Oklahoma State played some really good basketball today to upset West Virginia, and Texas is thanking them. Kansas is thanking them. Moving on to the Big Ten, nothing really changed here today. It really is the same. It's the same thing we saw last week. There's a little bit that can change today, not a whole lot. The Big Ten is mostly set in stone, other than a couple things. We'll go over them today. But Illinois was able to beat Ohio State. That was the only Big Ten game that was ranked today, and that's it. That's it for Ohio State. Illinois has they were going to be the 2 seed regardless, but they picked up another quality win against Ohio State. Now, Ohio State is going to be the 5 seed, which Purdue was thinking, Iowa was thinking they're lucky stars because Now it's really, are you the 3 seed or the 4 seed for Iowa? It's no longer are you 3 seed or you could drop to 5 seed, which is bad. In the SEC, we had some stuff going on today, obviously. Arkansas and Alabama both played. Now, they were both weirdly close games. Like, Texas A&M was not expected to hold in there with Arkansas, and Georgia was not exactly to be able to hold in there with Alabama. Georgia was winning at halftime against Alabama. I mean, it was a pretty crazy day, if I do say so myself. But nothing really happened that was that influential in the SEC. Florida has a big game coming up today. That's really all that's going to go on in the SEC. The SEC is mostly set in stone, just like the Big Ten. Moving on to the Big East. This is completely done. The Big East is done. Nothing is going to change in the Big East because there's no games today. Villanova lost to Providence today, proving my hypothesis that they're in trouble. They're in deep trouble. Not only do they not have Colin Gillespie, but they had another injury to their second-string point guard today, their third leading scorer. You're losing your first and third leading scorers. Villanova is in trouble. And this is a Big East conference that really is up for grabs to really anyone at this point. Toss in the air. I think UConn is a serious contender to win this thing, by the way, and get an automatic bid. They've been playing some really good basketball. One of the hotter teams in the Big East. I think it's going to be interesting. Definitely interesting to watch down the stretch. But let's go over to the games that we have going on today. Let's start out in the American. American has a very important game between the second and third place team in the conference. This is for second place in the conference, by the way. If Houston wins this, they stay in second place. If Memphis wins it, they take second place. So this is a pretty crucial game in the American. Tigers have a huge chance to get a caliber win over a pretty good Cougars squad. I think it's possible. I'm saying it's possible. We could see 3 American teams in the playoffs. Maybe 4. I'm just saying, if Memphis picks up a huge win against Houston, I don't see how you leave out Houston. I don't see how you leave out Wichita State. Memphis would definitely have a case. And if another team like SMU or UCF's been playing well recently goes on a run, I think it could be 4. 4 teams from the American is a real possibility here, guys. Now, Memphis is one of the hotter teams in the American. They have a 6-game winning streak going on now. Though this could come to a halt against Houston. Houston also has a 3-game winning streak. But I gotta say, Tigers have been playing well. I'm very impressed with what they've done as a squad. Moving on, we have a whole bunch of a lot of Big 12 games today. We have 2. But there's only 5 games, so 2 is a lot for a conference. 3 o'clock, number 18, Texas Tech traveling to number 3, Baylor. Baylor's favored by 8 points on ESPN. And at 6 o'clock, number 15, Texas traveling to TCU. Texas is favored by 7.5 points. No, really, Baylor and TCU are not moving from where they sit at 1 and 8, respectively. We're going to see the TCU the first day is set, by the way, if you're a Big 12 fan. We're going to see Oklahoma versus Iowa State 100%. We're going to see TCU versus Kansas State 100%. Nothing is changing there. The real question is, what is the order going to be of the 6 up top? Because things can change. We do know who 1 and 2 are. Baylor and Kansas are going to be 1 and 2. That's why I said Baylor's not moving. Kansas is also not moving. So really the question is, what is the order going to be? West Virginia, Texas, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, right? So the worst West Virginia can have is the 4 seed. That's the real question. Are they going to have the 3 seed or the 4 seed? If you're a West Virginia fan, you're a huge TCU fan tonight, because if TCU can pull off the upset, you have the 3 seed. If Texas is to win this game, they take the 3 seed. West Virginia drops to the 4 seed. Now, on the other hand, if Oklahoma State would love a Texas loss here. And now there are a lot of things that could go bad for Texas with a loss here. It's not like, if we lose, we're still the 4 seed. There's a big difference. We could be the 3 seed if we win against TCU. We should win against TCU. But if we lose, if we get upset, Oklahoma State 100% going to pass us, right? They have an 11-7 record. We have a 10-7 record. Now, we could just drop a spot. That would be okay. Now, it is possible if Texas Tech is able to upset Baylor. Again, I still have confidence that Baylor is playing at a very high level right now, but Texas Tech is technically speaking the hottest team in the Big 12, winning 3 straight. Baylor is tied for second hottest with 2-game win streaks, same with Kansas and Texas. They all have 2-game win streaks. But just Texas Tech is one of the hotter teams. If Texas Tech is to win, if you look at it, Texas Tech swept Texas in the regular season. So Texas, technically speaking, could drop from 4 to 6. It's a pretty huge drop. You don't want to drop that far if you're Texas. Because right now, if you're Texas, yeah, you sit at 3 or 4. It's a very, very good spot to be. 6 is not a good spot to be. 6 is a spot you want to be if you want to play Oklahoma State or you want to play Texas Tech the day one. That's what you want to do, then yeah, just go straight ahead, Texas, lose this game. But I wouldn't lose this game if I was Texas. Texas Tech with a loss is also not going to drop behind Oklahoma. As I said already, it's set in stone because Texas Tech beat Oklahoma the one time they played in the regular season. That would technically be a sweep, and that would be the tiebreaker, and just Texas Tech would own that. So even if they do lose today against Baylor, they're not dropping. The best thing they can do is move up a spot past Texas. So if you're a Texas Tech fan, you're a TCU fan tonight, and you're a Red Raiders fan. Moving on to the Big Ten, there's 2 games today. Only one of them has significant meaning in the Big 12 picture. We have at 11:30, number 25, Wisconsin playing number 5, Iowa. That's the only one that has any meaning. 3:30, number 2, Michigan at Michigan State. Now, this can be... It's a big game, technically speaking, because Michigan State has a chance to pick up a huge quality win against Michigan. They are already probably a tournament team. I think you just need to win 1 in the Big Ten tournament to make it, but it wouldn't improve their seeding. Michigan already won the conference, and then if you look at it, Michigan State, the best Michigan State can do is win today, hope Maryland loses, but even then, Maryland holds the tiebreaker over you, beating you. They swept Michigan State in the regular season. So you can't move up a spot, and then if you look at it, Indiana's already played, so you would have an 8-12 record, they'd have a 7-12 record, so yeah, you can't drop past them. So this game for Michigan State is really just about your tournament resume. That is it. You're not moving in the Big Ten regardless. And I said Michigan already is not. This is just for their tournament resume. Now, I've said it before, there's also games going on today that isn't going to affect a lot. Now, I said there's a couple of things that can change. Here's the 2 things that can change. If Wisconsin is to upset Iowa, I would drop from the 3 seed to the 4 seed. It's the only thing that can. That, and there's this other game, Northwestern plays Nebraska. If Northwestern is to win this game, they move to the 12 seed instead of the 13 seed. Now, that matters 0%. Like, there's the Iowa-Purdue, or it depends on who you're playing. So, obviously, you want to be the 3 seed if you're Iowa, and you're the 4 seed if you're Purdue, right? That's the obvious thing. But it matters 0% if you're the 13 or 12 seed, because you're playing the other one regardless. It's not like if you win, then you play a different team. No, you're going to be playing Minnesota, regardless of what you do. So that's why I said there's only a couple things that can happen, because those are the only couple things. If you look at it, Wisconsin could lose today. They could fall to 10-10, have a 16-11 record. But they beat Rutgers the one time they played in the regular season. So even though they have the same in-conference record, they wouldn't be able to drop. But here's another thing that I didn't quite think of. Maryland, if they win today against Penn State, I believe they did. I don't know if I believe they beat Wisconsin. Where is that game? I'm looking through the schedule. I know they beat Wisconsin, on December 28th. But then Wisconsin beat them on January 27th. So they split their in-conference series, so that's something to look at moving forward. So there is something that can change. I believe Maryland did sweep Rutgers, so that is something to look out for if you're Rutgers. If Maryland is to win this game against Penn State, Maryland can move up a spot. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure they swept. Oh wait, never mind. Rutgers won on December 14th, 74-60. And then Maryland was able to beat Rutgers on February 21st. So that would also be a split series. That would be interesting. If Wisconsin is to lose today against Iowa, and Maryland is to win today against Penn State, that's a 3-way tie. That's going to be interesting to look at. I don't know exactly how it would work out, but never mind. That's a very interesting thing to look at, is the 3-way tie. But mainly, the thing that you should be worried about, really, is if Wisconsin is able to upset Penn State. They're not moving upwards. Basically, Wisconsin, I would just want to win to avoid the 3-way tie. The 3-way tie is nasty. You could also, I guess, root for Penn State. I mean, the game means nothing to them, though, so it's going to be interesting. I mean, the Maryland thing it's concerning. If it's just Rutgers, then you should be fine, because you swept Rutgers. But the Maryland thing is concerning. You should be concerned if you're a Wisconsin fan, because that three-way tie could work out a lot of different ways, and I'm not exactly sure of the rules on that. Now, if Iowa loses, they drop past Purdue, and that's the real worry. Now, if you're a Penn State fan like I am, you could be thinking way too far in the future, but if I'm a Penn State fan, I think we're going to beat Nebraska. So if we assume we beat Nebraska, we got the perfect result today with Ohio State losing to Illinois. Now, Ohio State's are the team we play after Nebraska. If we beat Nebraska, I'm hoping we beat Nebraska. Ohio State is a team that we've played close both times. I think we can beat them. We've definitely come close twice. We'll just see if Jim Ferry can coach our guys to actually pull it through. But if we get past that, Iowa is the team we want to play. We don't want to play Purdue. Purdue has proven that we're a bad matchup against them. For instance, I never want to see Purdue. I don't want to see Purdue. I don't want to see Illinois. I can deal with Michigan. Michigan's a team I can deal with. I don't want to deal with Purdue or Illinois. That's really all it is in the Big Ten. So who does GGB think is going to pull off the upset today? Personally, I think Wisconsin has the best shot. If you just look at it, I think Memphis definitely has a shot against Houston. I think Texas Tech has a shot against Baylor. I think Michigan State has a shot against Michigan, considering Michigan's not playing for a whole lot. I don't think TCU has a real shot against Texas. I hope that doesn't bite me in the butt. But I really do believe Wisconsin's a good basketball team. Just Demetric Trice is an absolute superstar. I think it's going to be... Wisconsin's an interesting team to look at come tournament time, but I really love the Badgers in this one. I always pick the Badgers. They never pull it off. I'm hoping they pull it off this time. Everybody, this is GGB saying adios, amigos, and go Badgers.